Good evening, everyone. This is Henry Gambell with SimplerOptions.com, and in tonight's free video, I wanted to start off with some top-down analysis, and some analysis that does start with some assumptions. One of those assumptions is that you are willing to look at the markets and assume a bullish stance on them into the end of the year. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm coming in and saying, hey, today is the low for the diamonds, but it's looking at this pattern overall and suggesting that something big is about to happen based off the idea that this weekly squeeze is going to fire and release a large amount of energy. So, as I look at that pattern, as I look at that signal, I think we have to prepare for the diamonds to push higher as we get into December and then beyond that, if it takes that long. And then to go a step further, I want to look at XLI, because although these patterns are not exactly the same, they do share some similarities, and they share some primary components, which we're about to get into. But when you can look at this, you would basically just make an argument that says the same thing, that if you're assuming that this consolidation resolves to the upside, then the next place to look is going to be Boeing, because this is the primary component of both of these ETFs. And when we come in and look at this chart, you can see you have the same signal, a weekly squeeze. Now, a little tricky here today because Boeing was down $9.50, but it's just the idea that the trend here is still okay. And if you're willing to give it back here against these most recent lows, I'm going to be looking for this to find its footing here around 350. So once again, I'm not saying that Tuesday will be the low, but I think Tuesday, and as you get into Wednesday, if you would like to think of some longer term positions, I am considering that from this swing low back up into this swing high, everything here above 340 is going to be fair game to the long side, and the goal here would be to, slowly position yourself down here in this area. That way you've got the trade on as we start getting into the later part of the year. So that's one trade that I'll be looking at. I think it's worth your time to analyze those bigger ETFs and the signals that are suggested there. And if you like that type of analysis from a top-down ETF and then kind of break it down approach, one of my favorite people that runs that type of analysis is Raghee. So if you're not familiar with her work, this would be a great opportunity to become introduced to it, or if you'd like to just take it to the next level, I have learned a lot from her. So Raghee is going to be doing the summer fib series that I completed 2 weeks ago, then Bruce had his session, and now Raghee is up. So like I said, I really enjoy her ETF approach. I enjoy what she does with the fibs and ties it into pretty much every market that she trades, and I think it'll be a helpful course. So I hope you get something out of that. Let me know if you have any other questions, and we will see you at the next free video.